What's poppin' good looking? Today is Free Ride Friday, so make sure you hang on to the end of today's episode so you can hear who won this week's free ride to the $100 MBA Training Community. Guys, every week we give away a lifetime membership to our community of over 180 video lessons, interviews with experts, workbooks, a community forum, ask questions anytime, a whole lot more. And all you got to do to enter our weekly random draw to win a free ride is to leave us an iTunes rating and review. Everybody who leaves us an iTunes rating and review has the chance to win, and this is just our way to give thanks, to give back to you and say thank you for your support of the show. To learn how to leave us an iTunes rating and review, just go to 100mba.net/show, or if you're on your iPhone, it's super easy. Click on the cover art. You'll see a link that says give us a rating and review. Click on that link. The rest is super easy. Thank you in advance for your support. Let's jump into today's episode. Welcome to the $100 MBA Show, the business podcast that's all about business builders that roll up their sleeves and get things done. That's why every single episode is practical and you could put it into practice right away. Subscribe and get our daily 10-minute business podcast for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And in today's episode, you will learn 5 business secrets I learned from Steve Jobs. I've been a student of Steve Jobs' work and his legacy. And don't get me wrong, Steve wasn't perfect. No one is. But there are many things he's done exceptionally well as a business builder. And today I'm going to share with you 5 secrets, 5 things that really are exclusive to his legacy. These are things that define the reason why he was successful. And I want to pass them on to you because I've picked up these 5 things and they've helped me tremendously in my own journey as an entrepreneur. Some of these are not so easy to implement because they take time to see results. And some of these you can implement right away and they can change things instantly. I can't wait to get into today's lesson, so let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by Edible Arrangements. Take the next step in your entrepreneurial journey as an Edible Arrangements franchisee. Yes, Edible Arrangements, the brand that's famous for fruit arrangements and chocolate-covered fruit, is also known for being a successful franchise. Discover why Entrepreneur Magazine named Edible Arrangements among the best of the best for 2015. As an Edible Arrangements franchisee, you join a brand of 16 years of growth, 1,200 stores, and millions of visitors to ediblearrangements.com. Start your journey to sweet success as an Edible Arrangements franchisee at edible.com or call 1-888-727-4258. Again, that's 1-888-727-4258 or edible.com. A lot of people don't know that Steve Jobs' journey as an entrepreneur was not always super smooth. It had a few bumps along the road. He co-founded Apple in 1976. Then 9 years later, in 1985, he was ousted from the company that he started. But then in 1997, 12 years later, when Apple was near bankruptcy, he returned back to Apple and saved the company. As we know, Steve Jobs passed away in October 2011, but he left a legacy behind and a great story and some really great lessons on entrepreneurship. And I want to share with you 5 of what I call his secrets of entrepreneurship in today's lesson. I just want to make this super clear. Steve Jobs is not the average entrepreneur. He's exceptional. He's built the most valuable company in the world. I would consider that exceptional. And he's rightfully found his place in history among with Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and Walt Disney. So there's a lot to learn from his legacy, but I'm going to give you the 5 I feel are the most impactful things you can implement in your business. The first one is focus. When Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, Apple was producing a random array of different products, computers, peripherals. They had a dozen different versions of Macintoshes. It was a mess. And after a few weeks as CEO, he drew a line in the sand and told everybody, stop. He grabbed a magic marker and wrote down on the whiteboard 2 columns, consumer and pro, and then 2 rows that say desktop and portable. He told his team, let's just focus on 4 great products, 1 for each quadrant. And he told everybody, we're going to cancel all other products. Obviously, that shocked the company. They said, hey, we spent a lot of time and money creating all these other products that you want to just cancel. But Steve knew you can't do everything right. You can't have so much on your plate and implement every single thing perfectly. He said, let's not do what other competitors do, where they're mediocre in a lot of products. He said, let's be the best in a few products. And the thing about Jobs is that when he had meetings, he would realign his management ever so often and make sure they're still focused. Let's focus on being great at these products. And even till today, even though they have several products, they're very focused. I mean, if you go to the Apple website, take a look what they have. They have laptops, they have desktops, they have iPads, and they have a phone. They have some smaller accessories like the iPod and the iWatch, which go along with the iPhone. But compared to the competitors, how many different types of PCs are out there? There's literally hundreds. How many different configurations can you have? So Apple's still a company that focuses. And even though they have more products than they did 10 years ago, they focused on perfecting those products before they moved on to other products. They were known for focusing on quality. One of my favorite stories is that near the end of his life, Jobs visited Larry Page, who's the co-founder of Google. And even though Google and Apple were feuding for some time, Jobs was still willing to give some advice. And he told Larry, the main thing I stressed was focus. He told Larry, figure out what Google wants to be when it grows up. I love that because it really focuses on where do you want to go with this? What does this look like when it's successful? Awesome advice. So number one secret, focus. Second secret, simplify. A lot of people know that Jobs was fascinated by monk culture. He visited Japan several times a year. And much of the simplicity we see in Apple products today come from the experiences that Jobs had in those temples. He always said simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. He admired simplicity. A lot of people don't know that Steve Jobs worked the night shift at Atari as a college dropout. And he said that he loved that experience because Atari games came with no manual. There was no need to explain anything. Anybody can just learn how to play the game just by popping it in. There's an appeal to simple design, simple user experiences. And this is not only applicable to software. If you're building a course, if you're building a physical store, is it easy for your customers to find what they're looking for? Is it uncluttered and clean? Does it make them feel good? These are things that Steve Jobs really paid attention to. There's a reason why the iPhone has one major button, the home button. He wanted to keep it clean. And that was an iteration from the iPod, the original iPod that had the wheel. And that was very simple compared to what was out there. So keep that in mind when you're building your thing. Secret number 3, take responsibility completely. Steve Jobs and Apple took end-to-end responsibility for the user experience. They always got in front of any type of hiccups they had. If there was an issue with a software update, they would get in front of it and say, we're sorry about that. We're going to get that fixed right away. If they had a goof up or a mishap during a demo in a live event, and that happened, Steve was the one who took the blame. He's the one who was doing the demo and said, hey, this happens, guys. We're working on new technology, but we'll sort it out before we release the actual product. He never shied away from the media, but at the same time, when he was approached by the media, he took the time to think of an appropriate response for his company. Part of being an innovator is standing behind what you create. It's okay to make mistakes, just get in front of them. No one's perfect. If you release a product, a course, a software, and something goes wrong or something isn't right, it's okay. Just tell them that you're working on it and you appreciate their patience and the fact that they're a part of what you're doing. Guys, I got 2 more secrets I want to share with you that I learned from Steve Jobs. But before that, I got to give love to today's sponsor, Digital Marketing Institute. Visit dmipostgrad.com to download a brochure from Digital Marketing Institute and find out why studying their postgraduate diploma in digital marketing is the perfect way to get ahead in a fast-paced, high-growth industry filled with exciting career opportunities and salaries. The Digital Marketing Institute is a leading global provider of digital education and has equipped over 10,000 students across the world. They've given them the skills and knowledge they need to excel in the digital industry. The postgraduate diploma is designed, developed, and taught by industry experts whose knowledge of cutting-edge trends and specialist experience will help shape you into an accomplished digital marketer with a skill set that covers everything from mobile, social media, and search marketing to digital strategy and planning. Studying online means you can enjoy 24-hour access to video lectures, downloadable support materials, and interactive quizzes, whether you're using your tablet during your morning commute, your mobile device on your lunch break, or at home on your laptop. Study wherever you want and whenever you want, and complete the course at a pace that suits you. Whether you want to secure a new job, move up in your current organization, or grow your own business, visit dmipostgrad.com to download a brochure for Digital Marketing Institute's postgraduate diploma in digital marketing and start realizing your digital career goals. All right, guys, I got 2 more secrets. Secret number 4 that I've learned from Steve Jobs is putting products before revenue. When Jobs and his small team designed the original Macintosh, they wanted to make it insanely great. They want to knock people's socks off. Steve said, don't worry about the price, just focus on the computer's abilities. And then Apple became a household name. If you recall, I told you in 1985, his own company ousted him. And during that 12-year period when he wasn't there, the company's profits went down because they didn't focus on products. They focused on revenue. But when Jobs returned to Apple, he shifted his focus back to innovation, creating great products. And that's why we have the iMac, the PowerBook, the iPod, the iPhone, the iPad. All these things came because he focused on quality products, innovation, and didn't worry about the bottom line so much. He knew they were going to make money if they just created a great product. All right, guys, my last and 5th secret that I've learned from Steve Jobs is don't be a slave to everybody's opinion. This one's a tricky one because you need to listen to feedback from your customers because it's useful and it can give you a holistic idea of the experience your customers want. But you can't take every piece of advice and implement them right away. Sometimes feedback that people give you is not a good idea for your business. It's not the direction you should be going. Steve had a very strong conviction about the vision of his company. So when he got feedback for improvement that would help that vision, that was in line with that vision, he took it on. But when he got feedback that wasn't, he said, thanks, but no thanks. You got to be that kind of leader if you want to create a legacy of great products and services. It reminds me of that quote of Henry Ford when he said, if I asked my customers what they wanted, they would say a faster horse because they couldn't conceptualize an automobile. But remember, guys, feedback's important. Make sure it's in line with the vision of the company. All right, guys, that wraps up today's lesson, but today's episode's not over. I got to give away a free ride to the $100 MBA Training Community, a lifetime membership. We do this every single week with our weekly random draw with everybody who left us an iTunes rating and review. Let's see who won this week's free ride. And the winner is Big Dave 89 from South Africa. All the way from South Africa. Good job, Big Dave. Big Dave says value, so much value. I'm listening to all the episodes back to back right now from the beginning, and Omar has been consistent with his wealth of knowledge. I love the short format. It makes it quick, even though at times I wish there was more to be said. Thank you, Omar Nicole, for the series. Well, thank you, Big Dave, for that review. We try to do our best in 10 minutes. We appreciate your support, and your mission is to email us at contact@100mba.net so we can hook you up with the free ride to the $100 MBA Training Community. Guys, if you want to win a free ride, just leave us an iTunes rating and a review. Go to 100mba.net/show for all the details. All right, guys, tomorrow is Q&A weekends where we answer your questions. But before that, I want to leave you with this. When I was a kid in school, my favorite subject was history, just because I used to love hearing about people's stories. I'd like to learn from their own experiences. And as an entrepreneur, I find that sometimes it's one of the best teachers. There's so many mistakes you can avoid, and there's so many ways you can improve your business simply by just paying attention to somebody else's story. In today's case, it was Steve Jobs, but there's plenty of stories out there, including your own. So don't forget to reflect on your own journey. All right, guys, thanks for listening as always, and I'll check you in tomorrow's episode. Take care.